Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into the life-changing wisdom of the business philosopher Jim Rohn. His ideas have totally reshaped millions of lives, and it all boils down to focusing on one simple thing you can actually control. So, let's get right into it.
So, let's kick things off with a feeling that, I think we've all had at some point. That feeling that you're putting in all the hours, you're working your tail off, but you're just not getting any closer to where you want to be. It's like you're stuck on a treadmill, right? Just running in place.
And for a young Jim Rohn, this feeling wasn't just some abstract idea. Man, it was his life. He was a really hard worker, but he was completely, totally, and utterly stuck.
I mean, just look at this breakdown. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. The guy was doing everything he was supposed to do, working hard in the so-called land of opportunity. But his day-to-day reality? He had pennies in his pocket, he was way behind on the promises he'd made to his family, and creditors were calling him all the time.
So what gives, right? Well, like most of us would probably do, he started pointing fingers. He came up with this really long list of things to blame for why he was failing. Oh, it's the government, taxes are just too high, prices are insane, you name it, he blamed it. Pretty natural reaction, isn't it?
So yeah, this whole first chapter of his life was just defined by this super frustrating cycle, right? He's working hard, but he's failing hard. He was just trapped, and he couldn't see a way out.
But then, something happened. At 25 years old, a meeting with his mentor, a guy named Earl Schaff, just completely changed the game. And Schaff didn't give him any money or a better job. No, he gave him something way more valuable. One single, powerful idea that would totally reshape his entire future.
See, what Mr. Schaff told him was this. Think about all the stuff we can't control. The economy, good luck, bad luck, all of it. It's like the wind. And here's the key. That same wind blows on everybody. It doesn't play favorites.
And this right here, this was the big aha moment. The real difference maker isn't the wind. It's not the circumstances you're dealt. The only thing that really determines where you end up is how you set your sail.
Okay, so what in the world is the sail? Well, it's your personal philosophy. It's that simple. It's how you think. The little judgments you make every day, the disciplines you choose to practice, it's the one thing, the only thing you have 100% control over. You can't change the direction of the wind, but you can always adjust your sail.
So as soon as Rohn stopped blaming the wind and, started actually working on his own sail, he figured out these two incredibly simple formulas that basically govern our entire lives. One for success and one for failure.
He had his huge realization that massive failure and incredible success, they're not these big one-time events. Nope. Failure is just a few tiny errors in judgment that you repeat day after day after day. And success? You guessed it. It's the exact opposite. Just a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. It's all about the slow and steady buildup of those tiny choices.
Okay, think about it like this, and Rohn himself used this example. You choose a Hershey bar instead of an apple today. Big deal, right? Seems totally harmless. But what if you make that same little error in judgment every day for 6 years? Suddenly you've got an accumulated disaster on your hands. And the apple? One apple feels like nothing, but do that every day and it adds up to massive accumulated success.
And if you want proof, just look at his own life. The first 6 years he worked, from 19 to 25, he ended up with practically nothing, broke. But the next 6 years, the same amount of time, after he started applying this one simple idea of daily disciplines, he became a millionaire. The wind was the same, but man, he completely changed his sail.
All right, so how do you actually do this? How do you start adjusting your sail? Well, Rohn broke it all down into 5 simple pieces that fit together like a puzzle, creating this incredible chain reaction for change.
And it works just like a set of dominoes, one knocking over the next. It all kicks off with your philosophy. That's what you know and what you believe. That philosophy then shapes your attitude. That's how you feel about things. Your attitude then drives your activity, what you actually do every day. That activity produces your results, what you get. And boom, over time, your results create your lifestyle, how you live. See how it all flows from that very first piece, your philosophy?
In this whole journey, this whole transformation from broke and blaming everyone to becoming a millionaire, it all comes down to one single, profound insight. This is really his ultimate secret to where you should focus all that hard work.
It's this. If you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune.
Simple, but so powerful.
And let's not forget, when he was 25, he was a hard worker. He was already putting in the hours. The problem was all his energy was going into the job, not into himself. And that effort only got him so far, which was, broke.
The real breakthrough, the moment everything flipped for him, was when he made personal development his main gig. He switched his focus from the job to himself, to his philosophy, his attitude, his skills. That is what changed everything.
So, really, it all comes down to this one last question for you. Because, look, the wind of circumstance, it's never going to stop blowing. The economy's going to do what it does, life's going to throw you curveballs. That's a given. The only question that really matters is, what are you going to do about it? What's one small discipline, just one thing, you can start today to begin adjusting your sail?